Maggie tried to go for a walk when I got home. She knew, because I parked in the driveway, she knew I was leaving.
Just gonna walk around a bit.
This is like the longest minute. It's been 4:59 now, it's been like for 6 minutes. I think my phone went into suspension mode.
That's sometimes a good thing.
Oh,
Voice says 50 million.
huh? Mine is doing, like I said, it seems like, there. Okay, I'm gonna call this meeting, question here at 5 P.M. Meetings with budget. Jeff, would you lead us?
Sure. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Many to order. Just the agenda, I understand, not committee would like to consider their minutes from yesterday. We'll make that an adjustment.
Yeah, is there a motion to approve the minutes from yesterday? Thank you very much, Sandra.
Correction, so.
Well, I was gonna second and do discussion and corrections.
Second?
Discussion corrections.
Right, so Katie spotted the typo and I had left out that you had used the previous day's minute. So.
So is there a motion to approve as amended?
Yes, so moved.
Yeah.
Second.
Really nice job, especially on capturing the ins and outs of the ambulance. Since that is the big item in this budget, so. You might want to send it to Dave and arm him for.
Well, I did. Well, I mean, I included. it.
Okay, good. All in favor? All right. Conservation Commission, page 6. I hope that's an Amy. Thank you, Linda.
So that's. Maybe that's.
You and I buy the same cheap readers. Yeah, I'm done.
It's sort of.
Can you speak to it,
Just trying.
Sandra?
Page 8, eight, not 6. I can't read.
Well, 8 and 6 is chemical and.
You know, I said it's good. All right, so. The only difference of any significance is that. The, 1,600 for lab services disappeared. That's gonna be a year by year thing. If we get a commitment from the Thomaston lab to do our, water sample testing for free, as we did this year, then we don't need it. Otherwise, we need to put it in case we have to pay either Thomaston or Rockland. So that's all there is of any significance on the account. closest to reserves.
Questions?
I have one question.
Yeah.
Did they ever test that culvert that we had talked about? Down by the landing where the
They
flow
did. I
used to
don't
be.
think they did, I think
Okay.
something fell through cracks, we can. Add if we can,
You know what I'm talking about, the way supposedly,
well, I don't know exactly the
Yeah,
color, but
but-
he will show.
okay. I didn't know it was there until we.
Geez, can we give this a final approval? Sure. We have to wait until tomorrow.
Yes, completely your call.
Ah, okay. I will entertain a motion to final approval of 770 for the Conservation Commission.
So moved.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor? The Forest Preserve Reserve,
We have a page.
37.
37. The bottom of the list of reserves. And,
is this your bailiwick as well, Simon?
we're proposing, and the select board is proposing to add 10,000. Which would be good because coming up are the big expenses for repairing the access road and starting trail building. Once again, we will endeavor to get donations and volunteers for the work. And for trail building, there are grants that we can go after. So it's there if everything comes through. I think
So can you give me the Reader's Digest of financing to date? I'd be smarter.
on the forest preserve, the town paid 67,000 to buy the land. We have preliminarily approved for Land Remains Future grant that would give back the 67,000, and we are currently jumping through all the hoops for final approval. We're at the stage where we have contracted with an appraiser, which is one of the big hurdles. Once we get the appraisal, then we meet with the Land Remains Future appraisal board. If the appraisal comes in high enough, we get the whole 67,000. I will be very disappointed if it doesn't, because we like to land at such a bargain. Then we have a few more important things to do, what is it called, the environmental hazard assessments, purchasing title insurance, concluding an agreement with Land Remains Future and with Bureau of Parks and Lands, which will be a permanent agreement that we will need to report on every year, that we are indeed using it for the purposes for which we told them we would when they offered us the grant. In terms of paying for it, except for the 67,000, which we hope to get back, we have financed everything through donations. I need to work with Terry when she's not completely overwhelmed to get a sense of where exactly we are on what donations have paid for. We, in the latest fundraising effort this past year, we raised just under $13,000. So we would think that most, but possibly not quite all, of the hoops we still need to jump through. For the Land Remains Future grant, will be covered by the donations, are very close. But that'll probably wipe them out, and then we have the road building, the road repair and trail building and invasives removal and so on. We also have, back up a second, we also, next week, we'll be working with the forester to mark the boundary on the land. We have a survey which tells us the corners on paper. And if we can find the corners. But those long stretches between corners need to be marked. So we'll mark them in the spring, but they can't be blazed until the fall because the trees are producing too much sap, the blazes don't. But that should hopefully eliminate the kind of problems we've had with people not knowing where the boundary is and complaining that there's no hunting signs on the preserve when actually they're properties. So.
So this is an investment case that will exist for, at some magnitude, probably forever.
Yes.
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 Yeah, because it eventually will go into maintenance phase on it. We're gonna need. And we have used a small amount out of this, and I don't remember what it was for, but it
Right, but
2,500 or something like that.
just to look at it would have been 30,000 and it's 27,251, so that difference is what we must have spent.
Is there a motion to approve transfer to the forest reserve in the amount of $10,000?
Yes, so moved. Maybe.
All in favor? You, Concom?
I am. Does that mean I shouldn't have voted?
Maybe.
Yeah, she doesn't have a pecuniary interest in it.
I was gonna say, you know, there's no pecuniary interest. The main conflict of slot, so
Yeah, if you would
less than comprehensive.
hired to do something out there, that'd be different. But I just say that I think Song deserves a world of thanks to you. I don't know where you have the patience. The land for Maine's future, I mean, they make you dot every I and cross every T and she's just, I feel it.
Every innovation needs a champion. She's the one. Thank you. Guilford Butler Center. Page 33, you must pay me 8. You know what's behind all this?
Well, can I assume this is the old library now?
Yes.
Okay.
Did Bev do this?
There's some explanation at the bottom in the notes. Page 33.
Created the notes on 34.
Yeah.
Is the room use fee something we charge other people for?
It was left up to the discretion of the director.
New advisory committee indeed has rentals for fees for anyone who's not from South Thomaston or not for municipal purpose. So so other people who want to rent, it's a contract with the Lions, for example, but there's others who want to use it for a personal party or something. So there's new fees. John and we went back and forth on this last week because the Guilford Butler Center wants to install fees for renting those rooms to outsiders that are quite a bit higher. They're a little bit, they're not as high as the Methodist Church, but they're higher than he's on the building use policy at South Thomaston itself,
Right.
which was only $10 a room for any event. So that's something to be reconciled.
But those aren't in effect yet,
No, exactly.
because we have to
Yeah.
come to the select board.
Sure. They have to be reconciled.
But $10 was something that Penny had recommended, because she didn't want to charge anything. And if it was a business coming from Rockwell, they wanted to have an afternoon seance in there. I mean, we felt they should pay something, you know, you go to lights. So, $10 was a sort of a low compromise, I would say, with you. But your fees, I think, are much more appropriate, your proposed fees,
We'll see how. it goes.
yeah.
My jam is gonna have to pay.
No, because it's your municipal activity.
Oh, okay.
There was a discussion about that.
Yeah, if the event is sponsored even loosely by the town, hey, and there's no
There's
fee,
no charge. It's people who wanna sometimes rent from.
We want you
Yes,
guys there.
yeah.
Some outfit in Rockland wants to host a meeting or somebody wants a private.
We have a devoted, dedicated audience that we
Either.
have to satisfy.
I think that's sort of the key, is it open to the public? That's not the only key, but
Rachel, are you presenting the budget or should I?
I'm not meeting
You know what,
tonight, I
it's
beg
your
your pardon,
present.
I'm on the advisory committee for Guilford Butler, so I have a little more insight, but we didn't review this. This came from the interim director.
So in the notes, do I just say no one was present to present it?
I thought that was gonna be present here. Yeah, I thought.
I don't think she's coming.
I have a question that I don't know, you may not be able to answer, but. Minerva. It says that of the 2,000, all but 55 is subsidized. I was just wondering by whom?
I don't know. I'm so sorry.
By the
Main State Library.
By the Main State Library.
Great.
It's been that way for years. This wasn't presented that way.
Well, I know they've had trouble getting the full Minerva package. But they were getting only weekly service instead of daily.
Yeah, I don't think we get daily service. I think
It's
we get
It's
weekly.
weekly, they come on Thursdays,
Yeah.
when the library's not open, but I'm there.
I wasn't involved in the discussion, but I don't think you're gonna get someone to shovel snow a whole year for $1,500. That's just my feeling. And I gotta use myself, I gotta get an issue.
Okay.
Bethany?
Once somebody gets,
Thank you.
Good idea for them in the board.
And I know that was one of Penny's major complaints, is that there was no one to shovel snow, so she and Arthur ended up doing it. And so there's quite a bit of pathway there and entrances, and you got sand, that involves sand and salt in it, I assume. I mean, we put it out, did we put it out to bid? No,
No, we just asked.
yeah, we asked 3 or 4 people, and I got prices that were way above that.
Yeah, but I think Bev had somebody in mind when she put this in there.
I think she did too, but I don't remember.
Really?
We
Yeah,
also discussed,
pretty confident.
the possibility of
volunteer.
buying an electric snow blower. Or
Yes.
battery.
Battery,
operated.
you got-
Because Lynn used her snow blower a lot there this year.
Yeah,
Is the money budgeted for that?
yeah.
How are we gonna buy that?
Library donations is money that needs to be spent.
Oh, okay.
yeah, for the first time, I think now it's nice that on that second page with explanation, we see what the donations are and the revenue that's coming in. Because we didn't have that I remember last year, we didn't have that.
Yeah, and technically, all that revenue should be in revenue. And the budget's higher. If we're gonna gross budget as opposed to net budget. That's okay, I won't complicate it that, the charter accounts need to work, period.
So do we want to let the snow shoveling pass at 1,500 because we would assume the donations would cover any overage, or do you want to add to it?
No, if she's got someone in mind, yeah, that's fine.
I'm confident that when she put this in there, she had something in mind.
Okay.
I
She
also,
can make it work, because that's one of the things we talked to her about.
And it could also be that high just because of the kind of winter we had and how many times you were actually.
oh, I don't think it's high, I think it's low.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Or put it the price that it was,
Yeah.
because of how many snowstorms we actually had.
I mean, it's the type of thing where if you don't get any snow, you might go up there and stand and salt once in a while. And the other thing that I would say, that I say every year, is I think the director's salary is way inadequate.
I second.
I second that.
But we did double it last year.
Doubled it from
Yeah.
1 to 2.
I know,
And we specifically talked to her about that as well. She has in her mind, within a couple of years of making it so that we're not, the town's not making that salary that's coming from donations. She thinks that the facility can be a moneymaker as opposed to.
Only if you, the director is paid very, very little.
There's an awful lot to do in that position.
there is, and you're responsible, so to speak, for that whole building, which is the biggest building we have.
And there was a push by the Maine Library Association to take even small towns and small libraries and require them to have a librarian there X number of hours per week, and to pay them at least minimum wage based on hourly wage.
Yeah.
Yes,
That
it's coming back up. I was just reading about
I
it.
I found a spreadsheet of the salaries of libraries all over the state of Maine. And we are at 0 relative to.
Yeah, bottom.
Just a few are also at 0,
They're all small towns like us.
Yeah,
that
or
are at
small,
zero,
or
or
small.
small.
but quite a few have somebody with a master's of library science degree who comes in.
We're not gonna find that. we can't even find one for the high school.
Somebody told me there were 3 people
Working.
with such degrees living in Spruce Head. But I don't know,
that's what I've heard too.
Yeah, and,
But do they want to work?
do they want to come in
Right.
5 days a week?
she's retired, so.
And some towns were sharing their librarian for their community with this elementary school. Is there a librarian over there at Ash Point?
They do not know that. We don't have one at the high school.
Jackson Memorial down in St. George. They took the library out of the school. And used the town library for this. They go to the children.
And that's a private library. right?
More money.
And they're also
That on
right,
their budget.
they're also right next to.
They're a private.
Oh, yeah, no,
library.
it's
Right next
actually fun, it's not
They're
all in the
private.
woods, but I'm just.
They're not a town library, they're private.
That's a
library.
private.
Yeah.
It was very well endowed.
Yeah,
Look at their budget, I was quite struck
Yeah.
by how much.
Is that this St. George?
St. George has quite a bit of.
but we've been trying to get a librarian at the high school for probably 3 years, and we don't have one. So,
So what would the going rate be? Typically for somebody who could actually get a librarian to come work for them?
If we did it 5 days a week, it would be
50,000-60,000 dollars plus.
How about 1 day a week?
It'd be a-
10,000? 10,000 maybe?
And you know, and some of this is too, is like, I've seriously thought personally, I have a reading degree, I don't have a librarian degree. But, oh, do I wanna do that? Well, when you're doing, social security and your pension from where you came from. You don't wanna up your salary that much.
Yeah, no,
You know what I mean, like, you really don't, but
true.
and I think that's kind of when you said that so-and-so is retired. I think that's part of it. It's not the idea of. Working here at this library is very peaceful, very nice, very you know, like that's not it. It's how many people come in for other things that, you know, and it's the program manager. Right, if you're just talking about doing the library part of it,
That's the
Well-
easy part.
yeah, that's not, and I say easy, I mean, I work with Penny working at. Going through and actually reading through books and doing different jobs there, I'm like. "Wow, I never thought of this, you know, like, I
Yeah.
never. So there's a number of things that you don't realize is on the list or under the guise of library director or librarian. But they almost need to be separate entities.
We
And that's
did
what she
discuss
said.
that.
Yeah, sorry, did you ask her that? Because we have talked with, in the advisory committee, and she said one of the things she really concluded is you can't separate these two jobs. Which I found.
Oh, she did.
That's what she said, and I found that very
Yeah,
interesting.
because initially she told me she was gonna say, it,
Yeah.
And she said in the end,
She
she
said
said it's impossible.
but,
She
but I
said,
did ask her one question on it. And when she said she was gonna separate them, I said, is there still a relationship between the library director and the program director? And she said, yes, the library director would basically be over the program.
Like, one of the things that I really enjoyed doing is in the summer. Ash Point has 2 days that they come over for a summer camp kind of thing, using the library. And somebody is typically there and they read to the kids and. Whatever, you know, there's a craft that goes on or whatever. Well, there's a place where both things, both the librarian and the program manager would kind of overlap. Do I see it always? No.
well, she said from her experience the last few months, it's one job. Don't try to separate it. It's too complicated because
I
virtually by being there in the library, all the programming related stuff comes through you and comes to you. So,
That I would agree with, because that's what would happen.
Yeah, and I mean, that community center is two things. It's a building. But it's also the programming that goes inside the building. The library is one of those programs that go inside the building.
Mhm.
And so it's really kind of how you look at it. That would determine how you would set it up. And to be frank, we did ask the committee to make recommendations for the way forward. And we're still waiting on that.
you will get those,
Okay.
I promise you. Among other things is to call it the Guilford Butler Center, because that's what's right across the top of the
Yeah.
building.
Yep.
Yeah.
And all these long names of South Thomaston Library and community,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's right there on top of the building, so,
Well, actually, I see the title's gonna change.
yes.
What used to be, we changed it from librarian or library director to, we pointed out what is the library and community center director, and now it's different again. I don't, do we actually vote on that or?
No.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. sir.
So I will entertain a motion to approve the library budget, $7,377. Unless somebody thinks that we should do it preliminarily and try to chat Bev up between now and tomorrow, although. As you can probably sense, I'm trying to dispense with tomorrow.
I stay on.
I'm for that.
Is there a second? Is there a motion? Is there a second?
A motion, yeah, motion.
Linda,
I know that.
I'll second.
any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Just as you, since you mentioned dispensing with tomorrow. I strongly recommend that we meet very briefly, we need to be on Zoom. Approve for 30 minutes, so they aren't hanging over until next year. Which is the only other alternative, this is the only,
Maybe it'd be done by email?
No.
No, has to be done.
but it could be on Zoom, we've done that.
Is that not working?
Owl's not working. Yeah, why is this camera always looking at me?
Just looking at your forehead the whole time.
Looking at that door, I was.
Right.
Well,
It's not plugged in.
I-
Is it?
But I agree with your thought about the.
And I'll call a meeting to approve the final minutes at my convenience. So. Cause I'm trying to get out of here tomorrow. Going to Massachusetts, my son's birthday and my brother-in-law's 70th and
Lovely.
2 days with my grandson.
Nice.
All right.
Still doesn't seem to be
recreation,
working.
Page
Well,
35.
it was,
It might.
it did light up, but I see that.
It did.
Now it's.
He was not recognizing it.
Do you want me to unplug it?
Our recreation director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's that?
I don't know, did we do it?
There is no work.
I think
But they have $200 in wages.
I think we
No,
just.
That's for help,
Yeah.
which he moved away.
So we're taking.
Oh, that was.
No, I gotta find somebody.
Is that the
else.
stuff guy you trained as well?
Yeah,
Same one?
yeah, I sent him out there 2 or 3 days to train on the stump stuff and he moves away. You should have made him sign a contract.
So what are the dues, fees and travel?
Little League.
Oh, okay, right.
That ever get used, just out of curiosity?
Hmm?
Does that ever get used?
Little League, it'll be wiped out.
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
And
We
also,
pay
it
so much per student.
Yep.
also includes,
Some rec.
softball, right, for,
Right, that falls under Little
it's
League.
not just baseball.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just seeing if I have any questions. Yeah, I'll entertain a motion to finally approve recreation budget at $2,030.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Adrian. Any further discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Oh. Remind us about the reserve.
The reserve is designed to do maintenance repairs on the skate park, the playground, and back there. And we still that still needs a little bit of work on it as well.
So we're digging ourselves out of the 30-year hole that we dug, right?
Yeah, and to be frank, we originally were thinking about, not because we've got 25,000 in it, of not putting it in, but the last time we didn't designate anything, somebody on the floor made a motion to put $10,000 in it, so us putting 5,000 in was more of a trying to avoid
10,000.
But don't we have to pave the tennis court at some point? Like, it's just a half done, right?
Half done,
Yeah.
yeah, but we don't have enough money, that needs to be dug up, reclaimed, compacted. We're looking at 125, 130,000 project.
Tennis court?
Well, that one that's not done, if you do it right.
which is what
Very
they recommended.
Very expensive, you gotta haul all that out of there, dig it up, bring in material. Compact it.
And we're getting a visit from,
For the basketball. It would say tennis.
oh, is it just for the basketball?
Basketball's in good shape, they're out there playing now.
Yeah, we just need new nets, I understand.
Yeah.
Yes, we do need new
From
numbers.
And we need someone to go up on a ladder and put them up.
Yeah.
Which I am not doing.
Rachel,
Has there been any talk about upgrading the playground behind the Guilford Butler Center? Which has quite a bit of rust and kind of beat up, and I asked once the facilities committee and I was pushed back and told, oh, that'll be in the master plan of the eventual. And in the meantime, the kids are growing up. So I wondered is this a place where the town might support that?
Yes, this could be a source for that. I can tell you that there are several different groups that are talking about doing something with the playground. But like you found, facilities committee is trying to push that off because I don't know if they've settled on how it's gonna be. And so I think they wanna get their portion of it figured out before we start putting in more
Years are
playground.
going by.
Yeah.
We have a ratty, really ratty little playground.
Yeah.
It's not very nice.
A lot of it would be better off just not being there.
Exactly, I agree that.
The only thing insight I can give you is Bev emailed me and said. I'm afraid a lot of the equipment out there has problems that should really be repaired. Who would I meet with? Who would be the person to meet with to go over that? And my first answer was Beach May.
Yeah, and that's the other part.
Yeah, we don't have a maintenance janitor,
Do you have any clue what it costs to put in a nice playground?
a lot.
Oh, I
Yeah.
understand, but, okay, but do you have any clue?
Well, no, but
Like
the last time
School had a
we did
beautiful
it,
one, or,
yeah, last time we did it, all of the prep work for the ground and all of the sawdust and the manpower to put the equipment up was all volunteers. It all came from folks in the
I
town.
bet you'd get that.
Yeah, and so the only cost we had at that time was the equipment itself.
Have any recollection of what
I
it?
don't know how much it was. I just remember being out there putting it up. The Lions Club did the manual labor.
I will also say, having worked at the school department, the old said 50 for years. That's a fairly easy thing to fundraise. I don't know why.
Yeah,
People. Oh, you gotta donate for the little kid.
Grandparents, they'll be able to hang on to it.
Notice I didn't say it was easy, it was fairly.
And it was the bear putting one of those, that climbing dome.
Yep.
I've heard the maintenance or the people at the district really complain about putting those together. It takes like quite a few people. And a lot of work,
Okay.
so.
but you bring up a good point, and John kind of hit on it, but we don't have a recreation director. And where this falls right now is we have a kind of ad hoc recreation committee.
Yeah.
And. But I definitely don't think it's in this budget, but in the future, we probably need to think about that. Is having somebody that we've either pay a stipend to or something. To oversee the rec, because we do have several different places that would be falling under that category, so.
And I don't know if that ad hoc committee is still. As viable as it was,
Right.
it was me, my wife, Rich Norman, Gail's aunt. Huh?
Gail.
Gail, she sort of faded towards the end, and Penny. So I don't know. We may be down a few members or not members.
But you may have new people willing.
Yeah, yeah.
To help.
Yeah.
So I just quickly looked up like that a climbing dome, I don't know if it's the same size or not, is about $3,500.
Cool, glad at least you didn't say 35,000.
No, no, there were some big pieces, like, like when you see like the little houses and all of that.
Yeah, yeah,
You're talking 30,000.
Yeah.
When you get into those.
okay, sorry about that.
And if you go to Cedar Works, you're talking that and more.
Right.
No, Cedar Works will donate it to you.
Yeah, I think
They
they're,
will just give you one.
You think so?
Oh,
Sure.
all you gotta do is ask it.
yeah, I think so. Although that won't get you all the playground kind of equipment, it just gives you.
Give you some stuff.
Yeah.
Get you a
but it
nice,
get-
nice
Huh?
piece though, it'd get you a nice
Sorry.
piece for the.
Yeah.
It might be.
It's really nice.
You know, and a can of paint and brush is relatively
It's a
cheap.
huge boon to young families in this community.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think the facilities committee is far enough along with their proposed plans. That they could tell you what areas would impede their plans. And then if something changes down the road, well, you move it.
Right, and there's that garden area that nobody's maintaining now
Yeah.
anyway. So.
That was, I don't know if that's something that they're gonna continue the garden area, that takes up a lot of space.
Christina,
Yeah, I think there are plans, yes.
planning on working on that this summer.
But like I said before, we can't be everything to everybody on that tiny little site.
No.
Yeah,
No.
that's true. So.
Thank you.
You denizens of the library, keep your eye out for young athletes.
Mhm.
Not kid athletes, but their
No,
parents.
I just wrote one down.
Because they're the most
They're
likely
tall.
people to.
They don't even have to be
champion
young
something
or
like that.
athletic. My brother Stephen put up this fantastic swing set for his grandchildren. It's amazing. They just did it. I think neither young nor athletic.
Where's your comment, just towards the recreation department
Yeah.
itself?
Yeah.
Yes,
Somebody,
that's why I wrote
somebody
it
to be
down.
the champion of recreation,
Right, and I-
go into that,
And I
Nice.
wrote
part of the
down
youth
somebody
movement,
Exactly.
to see if
indeed.
she would be interested.
I have a question that, does the library facilities committee produce a treasurer's report?
That's their treasure.
You do a report like every month or quarter?
I might someday when I have time. Yes, at first I would,
I encourage you to do that.
well, at first I would give them, what they have in their accounts. I haven't had.
That's
time to
it?
Think about that stuff.
Okay.
But they.
I used to write the ones when Barbara was sick, I wrote hers for the
Yeah.
auxiliary.
They did say at the last meeting, though, that they knew they were starting to run up against the donations they had,
Yep,
other than the one that's, what's his name? The guy that passed away.
Paul,
Paul
DiMaggio.
He made a large donation, but a big percentage of it was reserved for construction purposes, not for soft costs.
All right,
And we can't ask them to change it.
so can I have a motion of final approval to fund the recreation reserve for the amount of $5,000?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Thank you. Is all in favor? Shellfish. Pretty good.
38?
38.
And something.
Okay, I sat in on this presentation by Penny, and I was satisfied then, and I personally am satisfied now. In case anybody has any questions.
Well, the big number is mowing, and that's fixed contract for another year, right?
And,
Big contract.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
hard to mow cemeteries,
especially the Anderson,
no straight lines there.
yeah. Does this changes the flag holders, is that what I recall?
Yeah.
They're going to metal rather than.
Yeah,
Is that- yeah.
a different type of metal than what they're using right now.
Questions?
Which, oh, by the way, the American Legion is recommended as well. Anybody that does those.
And what's the salary? For cemetery, Georges River, shellfish and veterans, it's a funny combination. It's not
Yeah.
really obvious.
Yeah, it's a cat, it was a
It's
catch.
a catch-all.
Yeah.
So what's the salary for?
It's for the stipend for
The
the
cemetery,
cemetery director
shellfish.
and shellfish, right?
Plus we have,
There's
So
no,
it's one person.
there's no stipend for shellfish.
Yeah, it's a penny.
Penny,
No, I do the shellfish.
Penny will let us some of it.
Yeah, that Penny does it.
Veteran.
So
Yeah.
$1,300.
So maybe you'd like to take it when you.
yeah,
Just a second, so the third, when I'm in the cemetery, no, when a 1,305 is the salary for Penny to manage the cemetery?
no,
I'm trying to understand.
No, that's, you're down the line.
No, you're down the line.
I've been mowing Thorndike.
We have a private agreement with the people whose house is surrounded by.
With Thorndike Cemetery.
Thorndike. and they take care of it, and we have to hire them. They wanted to do it on a contract basis, but they don't have insurance. So we solved that problem by hiring them.
And for years they did it, just did it. And, but that becomes a risk for the town, so we need to get them under our risk umbrella.
So the overseer is the small salary.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very tokens, okay.
No, the overseer is a bigger stuff.
No,
No,
$700.
it's $766.
I mean, big and large.
Oh,
is
yes, yeah,
relative
sorry.
terms, I suppose.
Dyslexia. Yeah, another salary that is not adequate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it depends on, I mean, I got a call the other day about a block that was pushed off its pedestal in Ocean View, so. I went down and looked at it, it is, it'd probably take two guys to put it back, but, who do we do, who does that?
Well. The person who's paid is the overseer of the cemetery, I would think is.
She's not gonna move it.
You gotta find some
Yeah.
people to do it, find people.
And she does have some money to do those kind
And
of.
actually, she was very good at getting volunteers to do
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
We use a lot of duct tape in this town.
It's okay, I grew up in Douglas.
All right, is there a motion to approve, how many clamors do we have, Sue?
Not very many.
And
I
now,
can't tell you right off. I could look it up.
We used to have 2 or 3.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a.
They don't do much in
Expensive dues to
South
pay
Thomaston.
for.
Yeah.
Is there a motion to give final improvement to the cemetery, Georges River Shellfish and Veterans? In the amount of $34,658.
Second,
Any discussion?
so those are veteran flags
Yes, flags and,
to go in the
Oh.
cemetery.
and the
Yes.
holder.
which is a federal obligation. You have to do that. Or get somebody to volunteer to do it, but yeah, the town is responsible for maintaining and marking veterans' grave sites.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Now we do.
All in favor? Debt service.
we can do final approval on that.
Oh, did I say final approval?
No, I meant on debt
You
service.
said, you said fine.
But you did say that.
Does
Does the cemetery reserve?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
Really,
Thank you, Terry.
adding 1,000.
Yeah,
What do you said the cemetery? Right?
I think the long-term plan is, and that
No.
amount that no one adequate is when we run out of room. Down at. Building. We all, I know at the Anderson Cemetery said, we own that parcel all the way to the road.
Oh, yeah.
They donated for taking ownership of the family cemetery back, but to develop it, you're gonna have to terrace it somewhat or put it in drainage somehow. And that's gonna be an expensive project, but I'm gonna be 120 when we get to that, so.
And what about green burial?
What about it?
I mean, I thought, seems to be more and more popular and,
I'd like to do it, that's all I can say.
yeah, so I thought they were looking for land.
Did you ask about cremation?
Well, I was also just thinking about, more and more cremation, how much more cemeteries do we need?
Yeah,
Green burial, I know they're looking for land
yeah.
there, and I just was curious if we've got that at strip to Anderson,
Maybe we can make a deal with them.
they're looking for property.
Yeah.
For a green burial site. And it's,
They're looking to own it or just probably, it's
I don't know.
the ultimate in perpetuity.
I don't think there's stones, there's no mowing, right? It's just rabbits and,
Yeah.
well, no, there's no more rabbits in there.
I had a rabbit in my backyard this morning.
It was a dead rabbit on 131.
Really? You know, there's only supposed to be snowshoe hares left.
It was brown.
There's a reintroduction program down in Skowhegan. There was bunny rabbits all over this place when I'm.
Well, they can go down to Somerville and start trapping them and bringing
I
them
know,
back.
their
before
Boston is
They're
overrun
inundated with.
with rats, with cotton picks.
All right, so can I have a motion to transfer $1,000 to the cemetery reserve? A final approval,
So moved.
all right,
Second.
all in favor? Yeah. Who do we owe what to?
What page is that?
36.
36. So this building renovation is still being paid for.
Yes.
Yes.
The last payment is due 9/15/2030.
And we will have paid for a new truck and a new ambulance long before that is paid off. Huh. Okay. So it is one of our most significant fixed costs. No flexibility. Any questions?
What is this 69?
Yeah.
It's not.
What's
labeled.
written here is very hard to understand. 69,000 has no,
No
Yes.
lines, no-
Blank line, yes.
and it's sort of low hefty.
Well, those two lines should be up on the,
Yeah, move them up.
Just move them up, okay, interesting.
Move 'em up.
Oh,
And the interest on the fire truck and the new fire.
Okay.
in the principal, okay.
Right.
Oh, I see what you mean. So
So,
that's money we owe for our stuff.
Correct.
right,
So the 7,400 comes back. to us.
7,000 is money that we made off of lending the 69,000 to ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus if it was in the bank, it would earn something, so you got really net of what the bank paid you earn net, so. But it's a little bit.
It was still a good practice to
Yeah.
start back with that ambulance, in my opinion.
And as I always say, if you start on the ground, you pick it up. So,
All right, can I have a final approval motion to, for debt service of 101,855?
So moved.
Second. Any questions? All in favor? Social services. There, page 32.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Terry or Jeff, you can explain this best.
We are obliged by the state of Maine to have this program. Well, I think this last year was the first time we actually tapped into it.
yeah,
We've had it for years. The process is that or the problem is that it's a state of Maine program. So the wickets you have to slide through to get approved of this are daunting. And so a lot of people come in and ask for the applications, but then they never turn them in because it's just so daunting. But it's for,
Like I need, I
General-
can't pay my mortgage
Right.
or
General
I need
assistance.
oil or.
food,
and
The one you did a few years ago was a failed septic system.
yeah,
yeah,
but there's alternatives. For that. Failed, I mean, so that's the other thing, we try to explore what else is out there. Funerals. People don't have any money to bury someone literally.
and the state reimburses us 75%.
70%.
70% of whatever this is. So it's more of a placeholder than it is reality. And it went up last year because the state went up for some reason. I don't know.
Goes up every year, doesn't it? A little bit. We have to approve that ordinance every year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that in October.
Yeah. The biggest problem with it is pain in the neck to
Mhm.
administer. Terry, the other day, had an application. She said she literally spent most of the day on it. And it's gonna be, what, $300 or something, or whatever.
Ended up denying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the other part, too, is there's a high bar to reach to be accepted.
You gotta be poor, really poor.
Well,
You
a
have
lot
to
of
provide
a
all the
lot of the
information.
applications we get, they would qualify if they would provide the information
Right.
that you request.
Right.
If they won't, bring it to you,
Right.
and then after 24 hours, you have to deny it.
Yeah, and that's it. A lot of people who really would qualify for it aren't willing to provide the information.
Or able, maybe.
Could be.
Usually willing.
I think it's willing.
Yeah.
It's-
Really?
Yeah.
They don't wanna admit that they need it, I think.
Or one
It's
reason,
not your business.
Yeah,
right, and one recently,
Well,
there
it's our
was
business
one that
to
they
do
just
what they
did
want.
what they wanted it for, didn't qualify.
Yeah.
It's really not a big
Social
deal,
welfare,
other
it's
than,
best.
yeah.
Anyway.
It's the nanny state. Anyhow, can we approve this at $1,500?
The final.
Final approval?
We'll move.
All right. All right. Yeah. All in favor? So here's what I propose. Go back to Terry's page 1. Which has all the preliminaries in it from the last 2 nights. And if we go down and approve all those, we don't have to come here tomorrow.
And then once you gave us time.
Yeah.
The new.
Is that right, Terry?
Well, yep, these are what you've already approved, and the one blank space is what you just approved.
street lights, they did preliminary street license one.
Street
You could also list them off and do it in one motion. You're really
Ah.
wanting it official.
Yeah, you
If you could do that.
Yes, you can. Sure. Can.
So
We do have to enumerate them.
You got to list them, right?
And I'll take that, Chair.
So I gotta like, yeah,
Oh, I shouldn't, I'm the chairman, I don't wanna make the motion. Who wants to make the motion?
I make a motion, I make a motion, we approve number 01, salary and stipends.
Wait a minute.
But no, I'm sorry,
This page.
it's
You're
this
on
page.
page 1,
No, I'm sorry, it's page 0.
Yeah, it's page 0.
okay,
The new one, the new one.
okay. So I'll make a motion on the total town expenditures,
And we gotta do each one.
okay, administration. Make a motion to approve,
For final approval.
But you have to spell out the number, I think.
oh,
Where is it?
$276,473.
I second.
You don't have to second until he gets done.
Yeah.
Sorry, you all.
have you read right down through.
Okay, and I do the assessor, $147,917.
Needs the new one.
Yeah.
You need the new one.
Okay,
She gave us the new.
stuck it in there,
This.
okay, thank you.
There should have been right from the table was confirming.
Yeah. Must be my other package. So we're at $146,917 for the assessors. Next one, planning and appeals board, $2,315. Building and grounds, $81,360. Town landing, $8,000.
The conservation.
You already did
You
it.
already did it.
Oh, never mind.
Town landing, sorry.
Are we good? Okay,
Yeah.
town landing, $8,934. The plumbing inspector and the CEO. $57,378. The fire department, $215,397. The ambulance service, $570,640. Public safety, $101,225. Solid waste disposal, $446,409.
We have to do public.
Oh, no, that was town road.
Road.
That was town road.
Town road, sorry.
It's hard to see across the
Yeah.
line.
That was town road, sorry about that. Social, solid waste disposal, $334,090. We skip down to operating transfers to reserves, $84,000.
Nope. Oh, no.
No, that's right.
We did,
Yeah, that's right. 'cause
we
you-
did something.
You find them, okay. It's good.
All right, thank you, Adrian.
There is one more that you preliminarily approved on day one, that was streetlights at 3,500.
Street lights at 3,500.
Okay, thank you.
So you can be, you're
Streetlights,
gonna
$3,500.
be famous, Adrian.
And now a second.
And now it's,
So now I second.
and now all in favor. Okay, before I dismiss everybody on my committee. Did you say that the dispatching fee is really not settled? That they're
Yeah.
doing more work?
Correct.
Okay. So
Probably not gonna be settled for about 3 weeks.
how real is this?
I think the dispatch is closer. There's a slightly different number that they've already are working with. They did a preliminary approval of a slightly different number, which is only $100 difference. And the one that I think is gonna be significantly impacted though is probably
You feeling good about 1097 for the mill rate?
I'm. Oh, no, I think the mill rate's gonna be 11.
27.
Yeah. Which is it's gonna be less than a 3%, I think, increase in the mill rate. If we wanted to bring it down to 1097, we'd have to put in 161,000 from surplus. Or come up with additional revenue that, and we've got a couple more weeks to figure out what the revenue is gonna look like, so.
So if you have a better than anticipated surplus,
Yeah,
could you exercise the authority you're given at town meeting and to fund the ambulance reserve after the fact?
That's nice of you. Recognizing that, exactly, I appreciate that, that's good.
I think maybe we could, but I'm
Yeah.
personally might be reluctant to take that on our shoulders.
and I don't think it was the ambulance reserve that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Well, no, and the firefighter.
It was the fire, that's the one I thought you had.
Oh, it's fire, right, 10 years,
Yeah.
raised $1 million.
I just feel like,
Because the ambulance, we're putting money into the ambulance. The only reason it's less than it was last year is because we had a grant. So we threw more money than the program was last year and the year before. I think it was $80,000.
So it's 90, I think.
Yeah. So the amount we're putting into the ambulance is what we were on.
It was a fire truck.
Fire truck reserve is zero, is the one that's totally zero.
well, we could,
Because we're paying for it.
surplus turns out to be greater than expected. Next year's budget could,
Oh, just do it in the budget, yeah, okay.
you know, but that's gonna include everything else, so.
So are we meeting tomorrow, tonight's minutes on Zoom or not?
Stay tuned for a meeting invite.
On Zoom or something.
Okay.
Well, Walter gets back.
So the meeting tomorrow night, yeah.
We're not meeting tomorrow night. Great working with all you guys. Hope you come back next year, Adrian. We didn't scare you away.
Do my best.
Have a nice trip.
Pardon?
Have to.
You have to adjourn.
I'm gonna adjourn the meeting. Without objection, I'm adjourning the meeting.
Thank you.
So this is the correct one.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I know you.
Oh, without objection, I'll adjourn the select meeting with the budget committee. And well,
Nice things.
Except for approving these.
Here's another one.
oh, did you get that thing?
One of these. Virtual meeting.
I've got it. That's the closest.